All right, we're back. Hey.
Motherfuckers.
Hello, world. Welcome to another episode of Marlos Talks, a safe place for keeping it player, where we keep it kosher every time,
The
all
time.
the time,
All the time.
24/7, 365, baby.
Nah, I be turning that shit off sometimes. I
You turn
turn it
off?
off. Yeah, I have business hours of being a real nigga.
Okay.
You know, say my office hours are from 9 to 5. I probably turn it off at about 11:30.
a.m., 11:30 a.m.
Nah, PM. PM, nighttime.
So before you go to bed, you turn your real nigga.
Yeah, it's like 11 at night to 11 in the morning. Don't trust me to be a stand up guy.
Okay. I mean, listen, being player is about recognizing, your faults and being true to yourself. If you
Yes,
know
man.
that you're not going to be a player in person from 11 p.m. to 11 a.m., you tell people, ahead of time.
Now
Yeah.
I'll say like I wouldn't say that I'm not player. It's just when you talking about we keep it kosher every
Mm-hmm.
time, all the time. I might hurt your feelings and say something really mean. That's what I mean. Like I'm still gonna be
Okay.
player, but
Okay.
there's less of a kindness to me.
Okay.
If you wake me up early in the morning and late at night, I'm not that kind.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would say. The playerness don't go off. It's not like I just become a fake nigga. It's just I might not be as Christian as I should be.
Okay.
You say that.
I
There you go.
don't think I ever evaluated my player off his hours. Hmm.
Every player got office hours
Yeah, I'm
because
gonna, I'm gonna come back to you. I'm gonna come
you
back
gotta
to the
shut down to
audience.
recharge. You gotta
Yeah, I'm
shut
gonna
down
come
to
back to I'm
recharge.
gonna come back to the office hours. Maybe next week. Give an update when I think my
Mm-hmm.
office hours are.
Yeah.
But it's the last episode of the year.
That's what they
Uh,
tell me. That's what you told me.
you know, Today we are recording on the 27th. Next time we'll meet, we'll post the episode. Will be on the 5th of January. So this is officially the last episode of the year. It's been a trying year, to
Yes,
say
it
the
has,
least.
man.
To say the least. But how you doing, Terry? How was your week? How was your Christmas? You know,
Um,
get
Christmas,
Santa take care of you.
Christmas was good. Santa showed up and like we was talking about before. Like I was actually in the spirit. You know, I was playing Christmas music. I watched a couple classics. Friday After Next, The Preacher's Wife. Number two, I always got to hit. The Preacher's Wife will always put me in the Christmas spirit, and then Friday After Next will get me in the right bag too. But Christmas was good. Santa showed up. I gave and I received, and it was very nice. And it was a good Christmas. How was your Christmas?
It was normal. Not too much gift giving this year. I we we're working on a wedding, so take a little bit off on that end. What I'm saying, giving gifts for the bigger gift at the when that day comes. And
Copy.
I also have a music video to fund. So so I can't really spend too.
The investments you're investing
Yeah, I
in
have
your
investments that I'm taking care of, so I can't really. I wasn't able to give too much except love. But in terms of
nigga gave love. Hey, you lucky you were able to get that off
yeah,
because not everyone could get that off.
yeah. I mean, but in general, it was a good Christmas. I watched Christmas movies all day. Like you said, I had Friday hit the classics. Friday After Next. I had a Christmas Story.
You
Um,
always gotta do a Christmas
come on
story.
now, come on now. Shout out to my man
Jingle
Ralphie.
did you jingle all the way?
I didn't hit Jingle All the Way, but
Arnold
I
Schwarzenegger. That's one from my childhood.
and Mecca wasn't isn't well versed in Christmas movies like the diaspora of Christmas movies. So
Hey, but you know what I like? Some movies are Christmas movies that you don't even know there's Christmas movies. Like
yeah,
I just found out that Lethal Weapon technically a
yeah.
Christmas movie. The first one because
Die Hard is a Christmas
Die Hard
movie.
is a Christmas movie.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? But continue about she not hip to the diaspora?
Yeah, the diaspora. A Nightmare Before Christmas is a classic Christmas movie. Got it. We hit Elf. Got to hit Elf. Hit
Ah,
That's the classic, but man, whatever. Home Alone 1, Home Alone 2. Hit
Home
them
Alone one
Jones.
and two. Got two. I prefer two.
I do too. You know, and reevaluating those movies as a 30-year-old man. Come on, son. Like
The parents
his
were
parents
trash.
should have been locked the fuck up.
Son, they listen, all of that shit, and not one cop was like, "We need to take y'all in, and we need to charge y'all with nothing." Come on,
Like the first one, they
twice.
could have got off. The first one could have got off. Like, oh, he was at the house the whole time. That's fine. The second one, he was in a whole nother state. You know what I'm saying?
And then I always remember, like, yo, why didn't they get somebody just to go over there and get the kid? But everybody they called was also out of town. I forgot, but Macaulay Culkin parents was trash,
Right.
like garbage.
And then like, there's a couple things like I noticed. The older brother was a bitch ass nigga, Buzz.
He
Both
was one of them.
times he was the root of the issue.
Mhm.
Home Alone 1,
Kevin.
he wanted to eat a slice of cheese pizza, but Buzz like ate his cheese pizza and then said like, "Yeah, I'll give it back to you, but when I throw it up," and that made Kevin try to fight him. So they put Kevin up into the attic, and then they forgot him. But then the second time, he had a solo during the Christmas play. Kevin had a solo during the Christmas play. This man, his older brother, who should be is older, should be wiser than him, decides to play a prank with him by putting like they had like these fake little candle jumps like behind his ears and shit, and like try to like play his head like play on his head like a drum kit. Like, you're old, bruh. Leave me alone. But they didn't give Buzz the energy they gave Kevin. I didn't like that. But then the kicker was at the end of Home Alone 2, the father gets the bill. It's like a little less than $1,000. He screams. He gets mad at Kevin.
I didn't remember seeing because that's something that as a 30-year-old you gonna pay attention to. When you're a kid, you don't even know. Like, I'm not looking at the amount. You just think it's a lot. It was under 1,000.
It was like 900.
He was mad about the bill.
He's mad about the bill, but you left me in New York to fend for myself, a 10-year-old.
He was really trying to kill me. Like, niggas was on his head top.
Bro, I tweeted Kevin could have ended up an episode of SVU, nigga. Somebody could have
Slick. If he wasn't a rich
did
kid,
something to that boy.
if he wasn't a rich kid and he wasn't slick, he wouldn't have, yeah, it would have been over.
Yeah, but fuck Kevin's parents, but shout out to Kevin.
But are we going to talk about one thing? Are we going to talk about how Denzel Washington was an angel, but there was a whole bunch of sexual tension between him and Whitney Houston? Like, he was about to strike Whitney. Like, if this nigga was an angel, but he was about to take Whitney down. They don't want to talk about that.
They don't want to talk about that. I mean, listen, angels are supposed to be non-binary, or say asexual.
Yeah, asexual. That's it.
Asexual.
Nah, Denzel's about to give it a ding-a-ling. And Whitney, listen, that was Whitney prime right there. Nobody be mad at him. Even God couldn't be mad at him.
Shout out to Whitney, man. Yeah, no one talks about that movie, or not in the sense of like Denzel was gonna strike if they gave him like maybe one more scene.
And shout out to what's the mom from Blackish? Jennifer Lewis.
Mm-hmm.
Jennifer Lewis been fine for a long, like now that Jennifer Lewis about 60, 70 now, but 40, that is a beautiful older woman. Jennifer Lewis, I need a poster of Jennifer Lewis.
I heard those stories. She used to get it popping too.
Oh, she said on Breakfast Club how she was a little roller back in the day. And when she kicked that leg up too, she an old hoe, but see, that's why when you are bigger than life, you could do a lot of shit. Like, Jennifer Lewis is a big personality. She could do her whole shit, but she owned it. And she like, I did what I wanted to do with who I wanted to do with it. It's a lot of ownership to her shit. So it's not like she's ashamed of her past. So shout out to Jennifer Lewis, man.
Man, that's the story of life, man. If you own your shit, no one can talk shit about you.
Yeah, man, 100%.
Shout out to Jennifer Lewis, man. And I realized, what's her name? What's Brandy from? I can't remember. Lan Whitfield. Not Lan Whitfield. Brandy from Thin Line Between Love and Hate. What's it?
Oh, shit. What's her real name?
Lynn
Whitfield.
Yeah, I said that. Lynn Whitfield. She was fine too. She been fine.
Oh, she been fine. Yeah,
she been fine.
Listen, the 90s had them joints, bro. Like now,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's just because we were children and then we saw them, so they hold a different place in our heart. But they had them Jones, man. From Nia
Like
Long to Sanaa
I
Lathan.
was watching a Best Man Holiday. They fine too.
Now that's the movie gonna make me fucking cry. That one got me. That one got me because I didn't see it coming. I did not see that shit when she took her hair off and she had
Well,
cancer.
Maya had cancer.
It was
It
more
was Maya.
Chestnut wife. Yeah,
Yes, Maya.
that shit. Whew. But and then we talk about hoes before that. You see how Regina Hall character Wholeness came back.
Yeah, I was like, I don't even remember. Oh, I like when I watched it again, I was like, damn, man, she was all up on YouTube, giving the college niggas a dome, the top. Like, damn.
She was your she was just like your shorty, Tiana Taylor.
Yeah,
Not Tiana, damn, I'm fucking Tiana Trump.
Tiana Trump.
Yes,
Listen,
people, I'm in the Christmas spirit and I'm drinking some bourbon. So if I slur my words a little bit, people, you can attribute it to the bourbon. You know what I'm saying? We live in life.
mm-hmm. And you know, I watched This Christmas again.
That's a good one. I watched
That's
this
a good
Christmas.
movie.
That was one of the first. That was one of the first ones I watched, man. That was one. And
Mama,
that cast was crazy.
yeah, that was a great cast. I was say, Mama had some real trauma with music.
Yeah, she was like, niggas, babe, she didn't want niggas to be talented, like, because it took her men away from her. You know, the
Yeah,
music took her husband, but the husband trash, bro.
yeah,
How you
yeah.
just have a family and then get up one day and move to Paris and be like, and then don't do nothing for your kids ever?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Real
I see
trauma.
why she. Yeah,
And Idris was an ain't shit nigga too. Like he was
100%, 100%. But see, we're gonna talk about that one. Like the people saying on the internet, y'all not ready for that conversation. How the dark skinned brothers always gotta have the most shit with them.
Yeah. And then, you know, Chris Brown, the light skin, was a baby, and he was the shining light of the family.
Bro, the whole movie, he was the man. He had girls dropping gifts off for him. The nigga was in high school. He had a motorcycle. He was singing like shit. He just had a hidden talent where he could sing.
This is out of nowhere. Taking photographs and shit.
Got $1,000 camera before Christmas.
And we never gonna talk about how was it Madea? She had a friend. She you know what they call it, a friend?
Grandma had a friend, God rest her soul.
Yeah.
His friend is just he's always at the house, but we don't know who he is to her. Like he's just there.
She didn't own him like that. You know what I'm saying? Spend time with the family, bail out Idris with $10K out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? He been there for 20 years, but they still ain't married. But listen,
living in sin.
Living in sin. But my dear, you know, mother gonna have some heat for you if you got a friend. Oh, who's your friend?
Who's your friend?
Your friend coming? Oh, what about your friend?
But you can't say shit about her friend.
Yeah. Damn sure you can't say nothing about her friend.
Everybody know you fucking Mr. Johnny. Everybody know Mr. Johnny be in your bed at night, grandmom. And she's a God-fearing woman, so she can't act like she don't be having Mr. Johnny come in there and slide her sneaker a little pipe.
Yeah.
Mr. Johnny sneaking her the pipe. And you know Mr. Johnny get laid that good pipe because he been around for 20 years. He ain't going nowhere. Mr. Johnny ain't going nowhere.
Been 10, 15 years. You might as well be your stepdaddy.
But they ain't gonna make it official because she ain't married to him. Shout out to Mr. Johnny.
Shout out to shout out to Christmas movies in general, man. You know what I'm saying? They just it's a different energy. Especially black ones, you know, when just like it's that definitely it's the family dynamic in black Christmas movies that make it so special. Because it can be messy or it can be hilarious, as you can see in This Christmas versus, you know, in Friday After Next. Shout out to the classes. But Terry, you got anything to keep it funky with this week? The last week of the year?
I believe I do. You know I gotta attack women.
I love it.
I gotta attack them, but not attack him, but I saw a tweet and it was reposted somewhere, and I just wanted to call. I'm gonna call it how I see it, and I'm calling out the bullshit on both sides of the fence. You know what I'm saying? It seems to be a narrative that men are the worst things, and men are the reason why everything is so bad, and they play their part. But women enable, and they have their shit too, especially when it comes to relationship dynamics. It is equal opportunity. So let me read this tweet to you. The tweet says, I always picked men that I sensed were hurting or in need of love because I thought they would appreciate me the most.
Mm-hmm.
Never thought they'd take advantage of me. Never realized they wouldn't be able to love me back the way I deserved. Sis, you just explained, you just called yourself out in your own goddamn tweet. You literally said, I've always picked men that I sense were hurt or in need of love. Why are you picking out the stragglers in the bunch and going after them? You picking out the wounded antelope and talking about, oh, I'm gonna pick the wounded one because then I'm gonna nurse him back to health, so then he'll love me the most because so that he won't hurt me. What are you talking about? And then you're talking about, and then I didn't realize he didn't love me the way I deserved. You clearly said you picked hurt people. What do hurt people do, Chris?
Hurt people.
Hurt people hurt people. So you're telling me I'm gonna get someone that's hurt, and that's like saying, yeah, I gave a poor man something he gonna appreciate. I'm gonna give him a little bit that I got, and he gonna appreciate it because he ain't got shit. No, that is not how things work. And then I feel like the undertone of her shit was niggas didn't love her right, and them niggas did her wrong. You started out with the wrong mentality from the gate.
Mm-hmm.
You literally said that you're targeting hurt people.
You know what? You know what this is? This is a case of the toxic pick me. This is a new level of pick me. The pick me is taking their need to be had and placing it on another person. You know what I'm saying? Because they see somebody that needs to be helped. You know, quote unquote, she wants to help her person, but she's hurt internally. She wants to feel chosen, and the other way, instead of feeling chosen about her pick me-ness of doing like things that get people's attention, she's gonna go take it. And now the man is gonna feel like he needs her because she's helping him, and that satisfies her pick me ego. This is a toxic pick me.
And the pick me, we gonna have a pick me conversation before too. Like it's a one way to like just to be and to always put your attributes forward. But when you out here trying to sell yourself like, oh, I cook, I clean, I suck dick on command, I keep my toes down, I keep my hair down. Didn't nobody ask you on this shit. And women's favorite line is, we don't do it for niggas, we do it for ourselves. Mm-hmm. No, bitch. Mm-hmm. You did that for a nigga, bitch. Mm-hmm. Especially this one. Mm-hmm. It was just appalling to me that she had the nerve to try to wipe herself of all guilt in the situation of her being hurt by people or being disappointed because they didn't match your love. You clearly said you picking niggas that didn't know about love. Don't go after broken people and be mad that they broken. You should go after someone that you see as whole, and you're already whole. And when y'all wholly come together, y'all can maximize each other. Mm-hmm. No one's gonna bring anybody down because you're both either working on yourselves to become as complete and whole as you can, or you're whole. You know what I'm saying? Like you're working towards this goal, not like, oh, I see this person down. Let me pick them up and they're gonna appreciate it. They're gonna suck me for life. No, like, and you said, like a nigga say, yeah, I stand by the bar and wait for drunk bitches because they're easy to fuck. You're targeting weak people.
Canceled.
He said, yeah, I only fuck drunk bitches because they don't remember me and I can leave in the morning. What?
Canceled.
Listen, two wrongs don't make a right, but you made the first wrong turn. It was crazy to me, and then also underneath that, people was like, "Yeah, sis, you gotta find someone know how to love you." I'm like, did you not hear her opening? She saw someone
we know,
and she wasn't helping people out of the. Go ahead.
we know accountability is not the strong suit of the other gender. So they're not gonna
Not
see
not
that.
no no no. Come on, man. Come on. It
So
was just I just want to keep it funky about the toxicity that is across humans. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got their shit with them. Every sex or non-sex, non-gender, whatever. Every human has their shit with them. And the narrative that the only people that got shit with them is niggas, because niggas is the ones always dogging people out or whatever. The niggas hurt the most. No. And you going later on, you gonna show how the other how the women be hurting niggas too. Just crushing niggas whole lives. Their whole what's the word? Their whole egos just be like a sun kiss can.
speaking of crushing nigga lives, I want to read into a couple of tweets of one of my favorite accounts of the past week. It's called Dudes Who Are Down Bad,
That's
aka
the name of the account.
the account's called Down Bad Patrol.
That's a horrible account.
And I just want to just read how women can influence a man's day, a man's week, a man's year. So the first one I'm going to read is this was posted 5 hours ago. The man says, "Do you want to smoke?" It's a good question. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, he knows he's texting the woman. They know they smoke. It's an easy question to ask to be around somebody. Seems like he's gonna smoke the woman out. Let's keep reading.
Yeah.
She says, "I don't think so. I'm gonna be done. I don't think I'm gonna be done anytime soon. Sorry." Oh man, that's okay. Get your work done. That's what he says.
He's
The
being
next tweet,
he's being good. He's being a
yeah,
good
the
dude.
next tweet, she sends somebody the address. She sends her address. She
Mm-hmm.
said, uh, then she says, "Oh my God, sorry, wrong person." What? You said
She
you're
was
not.
studying. I
You
thought
said
she
you're
was studying.
studying, but you're sending your address out.
Maybe it's for food delivery.
No, food deliveries. You
This
can go
nigga
through
said
the app.
no.
You can go through the app on a food delivery. So she's capping.
Big cap.
The next
But
one I want to
listen,
read. The next one I
but
want to read. This is even worse. The guy tweets. The guy texts her, "Lunch date at noon?" Question mark. She says, "Yeah, I'm eating breakfast right now." He says, "What you having?" Tinder guy made me eggs. The guy says, "Tinder
shit.
date?" She says, "Yeah, haha, that's why I wasn't texting last night." He says, "Oh, cool."
Oh, he's hurt. Why is she giving up this information? She trying to see a lot of this shit. They be trying to put niggas in their place. You're telling me
I
this nigga
heard.
picked up the wine. Nigga picked up the wine off that one. First of all, why you telling me you got your eggs scrambled and now he's scrambling eggs in the morning? Is this what you're telling me?
I
You could have
heard.
left me out of that. You could have just not texted me. No
Mm,
response is a response, but she had to give a response.
mm.
Dirty bitch. Dirty bitch.
What's the one we were talking about yesterday? That was the one I heard too. Here we go. The girl says he's texting. "Yes, I really need to go out and do cute Christmas stuff." He says, "So you want to go on a date?" She says
Oh,
yes in all caps, right? "I just need to find a
boom.
guy to go with." He says, he
Oh,
says, she,
bitch, I'm a guy.
he
I'm
says,
a
"I'm a guy to
guy.
go with." He says, "I'm a guy to go with." What'd she say, Terry, after that?
She said no. Ha ha ha. She put left four, she put 7 to 8 O's on her no and said, ha ha ha. Bitch, why you texting me? Like, you know what? The thing that used to really affect my ego back in the day is when a woman would write me off completely as a sexual being. Like, you act like I'm not giving out dick.
like
When you like, she literally she disrespected his whole manhood. He said, "I'm a guy," which was a horrible. That I would say though, that's a very weak approach, my brother.
sure, that's a terrible line. That's a terrible line.
I'm a guy. No, bitch, I'm taking you out. Get your shoes on. Grab your coat. We going here. That was a weak approach. So, but when she came back with the no, oh my god, I'm gonna give you
Pain,
exactly the number of O's in that bitch too, just for the
pain,
listener,
pain.
bro.
I just want Nick. I just want women to know that they affect us so bad. And
There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 O's in no. And the girl's name is Sierra. So Future broke her heart later on, so it doesn't matter. Yes, I really need to go out to do cute Christmas stuff. So you want to go on a date? Yes. Yes. She said yes, capital. He thought he was good. He said, I just need to find a guy to go with. And he should have been like, man, get your stuff ready. I'm about to come
we
scoop
out.
you.
Let's go. I'll be there.
But he said, I'm a guy to go with. And then he did the laughing emoji.
Don't laugh. Be serious.
Don't laugh. And then she said no, and then she laughed back at your ass. But he is a guy. She tried to tell. Are you saying no? I'm not gonna go with you, or no? I'm not a guy that you. That one hurt. That one hurt me.
Bro.
But just to speak to this whole thing, this whole topic, the curve is real, but the curve is humbling, and it hurts. It lingers sometimes. That
This
curve.
is what you need to do as a. I'm gonna read one more, but what you're I like where you're taking me right now, where it's like the curve is humbling, or the curve is real. This is where like your playerness and your experience, you see the oop. You should have saw the oop.
Yeah,
it's like I need someone to go with.
But then she said, then she the one that started talking about doing cute stuff. So that's what girls do though. They do shit like that fucks with niggas' heads. They'll bring up something, and then when you're like, okay, I think this is an opening, they'll be like, oh no, I was just talking. No, bitch, you seem like you wanted some dick later on. Not now. After we do the cute Christmas stuff, you seem like you want some cock. But no, you don't want my cock. It's okay.
Yeah, don't.
Somebody want it.
Listen, and I promise you, Shorty gonna be mad when she see him pulled up with a bad bitch.
Oh, listen, everything comes back to the gatekeeper. Well, he's not the gatekeeper for doing that, but she's gonna give him attention once he does his own thing. Like once he's not checking for her no more, she's gonna be like, oh, you remember when we said about doing cute Christmas stuff? And he'll be like, yeah, when you said I wasn't the guy. She's like, man, I was just playing. Why are you taking it? No, that's how I play. No, I don't play like that. I don't play like that. I don't play with my feelings. But go ahead, you was going somewhere, but the playerness, I'm gonna make this point. And then you wonder why men develop this thing where they always keeping a lot of plates spinning or they shooting out a lot of shit. It's to spread out the numbers. You increase your numbers, your percentage goes up. So if you send out 10 of these texts, 2 say no, 3 say maybe, I'm horrible at math. The number, you know what I'm saying? You get better, you know what I'm saying? You get like, oh shit. 2 said no, but I got 3 yeses and 1 maybe. Boom. I feel good about myself. You know what I'm saying? And women know, because women know this too, because they'll have 7 niggas on their line. At least 7.
Last one I'm gonna read, which is it's crazy, right? So starts off, she asks, what brings you on Tinder?
Oh shit.
You know what Tinder is. Tinder is a dating app. It's about, it can be to find a relationship, but most times it's just for a little fuck action.
Little afternoon delight.
Huh?
Little afternoon delight.
Yeah. What brings you on Tinder? He goes, honestly looking for something serious. Fuck being single. How about you? Right? So he's telling her off the top, I'm looking for something serious. You know what I'm saying? And she has the right to pivot and be like, you know what, I'm not looking for that, or I'm looking for that too.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. She says pretty much the same, but I'll be down to be friends with you though. We're on Tinder.
Friends.
We're on Tinder.
Friends. Tinder is
You
not a
said you're on the
friendship.
same. We're on
Tinder
the
is not a
same
friendship
shit.
app.
It's not. We're on the same type of time. I'm looking for a relationship. You're looking for a relationship. Why are you even texting me now? Why'd you even match with me? You're wasting his time.
Listen, this is why a lot of the time, this is why back in the day, I wouldn't listen to anything a woman said. Like, I would be like, I would like, say if I was on Tinder and I saw a profile that said not looking for hookups, I'd be like, oh, she looking for, you know what I'm saying? I would just infer the opposite just to play with my own mind so that I know that whatever she come at me with is whatever she come at me with. Because why are you talking about hooking up, but you don't want to hook up, but that's the first thing on your profile. So you thinking about fucking.
Like, don't you have to
And then,
match
but
with a person? You have to match with a person, right?
yes, you do. You have to swipe
Like,
right.
he swiped right and you swipe right on him. So obviously, the woman, she thought he was attractive of some sense.
Something. You saw something. Or she was just swiping with her eyes closed. That happens too.
I just can't. I can't deal with that, bro. Like, I'm like, why are you wasting my time? Now you
Yeah,
got
it's
me
definitely a waste of time.
wasting
But
my
see,
time.
and that's why a man who has not mastered his emotions will lash out and maybe say something hurtful after that type of interaction because he feels like he's been played with, so he wants to be disrespectful. So maybe not to play with him in that manner anymore, or maybe not play with another guy in that manner anymore. But
He would not be wrong if he called her out of her name, her God-given name.
I'm gonna say he would still be wrong because you're supposed to handle your rejections with grace, and you're supposed to handle your no's. Your no's are just like you're gonna get a lot of no's in life. You're gonna get more no's than yeses.
Sure, but you're wasting
So
my time. You're playing with me.
especially on Tinder, don't play with me like that on Tinder. You know
No,
what we're here for. You know what I'm talking about.
what,
We could
what,
be friends, and
what
that
the
also
point is?
that probably would throw me off too. You on Tinder talking about looking for friends? What? Go to a pottery class. Go go to the library. Go to a park and go to a basketball court. You'll find friends. You know what I'm saying? Play a team sport. Join a league or something. You're looking for
Play a
friends.
game, but don't play me, baby. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
man. The curve is very humbling, and women know, or maybe they don't know. They know. Young women don't know, but these older women that are our age, Chris, they know what they've done to niggas. I asked a question on Twitter a while ago. I was like, "Do you think you've broken more hearts, or you have your heart broken more times?" And women try to act like, "No, I've had my heart broken." No, you done broke niggas' hearts, and you done forgot about it.
Yep.
Women done broke niggas' hearts and then forgot that they even did that shit to that nigga. So
I'd rather you just ghost me than try to friend zone me when we're not even on that type of time.
yeah, man.
Just
It
ghost me.
takes a lot. It takes a lot of growth as a man to be able just to, you know what I'm saying? Especially when you have everything that they say they want and then they do some shit that's against it. You be like, you told me this is what you wanted, then I do it, and then it's not what you want. That's the mind fuck for real niggas. You be like, you said you want this, this, and this. I gave you this, this, and this, and that still ain't what you want. That's when a nigga might be like, you dirty bitch. You confused little hoe.
What the game?
But you shouldn't. You shouldn't. Just for the record, that's not how you should articulate your frustration with a person. But emotions are emotions. They're hard to control and bottle up sometimes. It takes a very trained Jedi, a very trained player to just take shit on the chin and then just pivot and do his own thing.
Man, all I can say is a shout out to the Deacon Future. He
Yep.
said it's a crazy world out here. So I salute all the single people out there, men and women, that are in the trenches dealing with this type of
Yeah.
stuff every day.
Single life is a maze of fuckery.
Salute
I
to
don't
you.
miss it. I don't miss it like that.
You know what I'm saying? It's just relationship drama is way different than like single drama. At least you know who
Yeah.
you're dealing with. You know the devil you're dealing with.
Yeah. Yeah. And you kind of have a dog in the fight. But that single, it's like a fight. You'd be like, what is this for? Like, why am I going through this? You'd be like, you know what I'm saying? Is very it's a conundrum. And also when you catch a legitimately crazy person when you single, you be like, yo, this person is not rational. They don't have no type of understanding. Like a legit crazy nigga or
Yeah,
bitch, that also it jades you when you catch like, yo, this motherfucker don't make no sense.
yeah.
I mean, it play with your mind. That's what I'm saying. That's why we trying to give you that player advice. I hope all the men they receive these texts have learned from it and then came to the side of Nevadius. You know what I'm saying? Came to Team Nevadius and just carried themselves like a real. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mhm.
like, what for better or worse, what they say about Future, he has a lot of taxes that will keep you as the winner. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
facts.
you won't be the one getting this text. You will be the one sending it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
At least your heart will be, guarded.
Because look, if the one nigga about the Christmas junk would have responded, "I'm good, love, and joy," it would have been a different day in his life. When she said, "I want to do cute Christmas stuff," and he would have been like, "I'm good, love, enjoy." It would have
Yeah.
been a different. It would have been a different little. You know what I'm saying? That's why. Listen, everybody wants to be a nice person, but the world make it cold. Make it cold.
Facts. Uh, well, speaking of the world, we wanted to try to do a recap of 2020. And unlike what you'll probably hear on other podcasts or on the news or, you know, music and things like that, we're kind of trying to do a positive spin on it. So, of course, the low hanging fruit is that 2020 was some bullshit. It's easy. It's easy to say because it still is bullshit. We still got 3 days left, 4 days. I think it's 31 days in January. We got 4 days left, and there still could be some bullshit in this year. But what we're gonna try to do, and we spent a good amount of pre-production trying to figure out how to spend a lot of this shit. But what we're gonna do is do a 2020 recap of the positives that happened. So let's start it off. So one thing that I think myself and Tara, realized with the pandemic that we're still going through, when not people are going still at home, or business we're not fully open because of COVID-19. Well, we realized that the government can give us stimulus checks,
Mm.
and so we'll come back around to what you want to talk about the stimulus checks. But with the
Mm-hmm.
stimulus checks, Black people realize, even though we already knew this, but we realized, oh, y'all really bullshitting on these reparations. Y'all really can make this shit happen. If you can make a $900 trillion bill, whatever, and put $1,200 in our account way back in March, you know what I'm saying? What's the deal with reparations? Why is there a holdup on it? I think that even though it hasn't happened yet, I think now we've seen it as a culture, like, oh, y'all playing with us. This can really happen. There's no excuses now. I think that's a positive of 2020. Thoughts?
Yeah, yeah, bro. The government always has money for what they want to have money for. They always talk about the military spending, shit like that. They want to bail out the banks. They want to bail out the auto industry. They got the bread because we give it to them. It come out of your check before you even see it. The jack move been put in place. They
Yeah.
just take the money and they line their pockets.
Yeah.
They line the contractors, the contracting companies that they already own. They give the licenses and the shit to the people they already own. They get what I'm saying, the contracts get the people they already know. They're giving the money to themselves. They don't like to give the money to nobody but themselves. It's a secret society. The elites, the motherfuckers that's in Congress and the legislative branches of each state and all that shit like that. the bread is there. Because if the bread wasn't there, then the shit that they wanted, then all the people that got them elected wouldn't be happy.
Mm-hmm.
Why the roads fucked up? Why the schools fucked up? You know what I'm saying? That's what we supposed to be taxpayers. That's what we supposed to be paying for. Infrastructure shit. Programs, social services, institutions that's supposed to help the people. Cause shit, y'all take the money before I even see it.
Yep.
And reparations, and they always talk about studying the 1st and the 15th, and then not giving benefits to people that need it. Why the veterans is always on the street with a goddamn sign, and they risk their life for this bitch? You know what I'm saying? It's corrupt, and we know it's corrupt because humans are corrupt. But it's like this reparations topic. They want to talk about we're gonna institute a law to study it. Motherfucker, while y'all studying this shit, give niggas make sure black people don't gotta pay taxes until y'all done with the study. Let's see if y'all could do for some months or some years without the taxes from the black people. I'm just saying, bro, it ain't that hard, bro. It ain't that hard to find a plan of action to give back to the descendants of slaves. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
There's people in college that have wrote. There's been plenty of essays. I'm sure there's been plenty of research done on already. They're just not looking at it because why are we gonna give them money? We gave them their freedom.
Bro, they didn't have to do a study to figure out how to give people a stimulus check.
No.
So exactly, I don't.
They saw what people needed, and they went and they tried to do it, and they still didn't even do that. God damn it.
So I think with the shutdowns, we're seeing that, and I think like anything like this whole year, in general, right? This has been a year of awakening in terms of people. We've been at home for a long time. Just be on social media, looking at the news, looking at what's going on in the media. I think this has been an awakening, in terms of our generation and the generation before us, of just like, you know what, nah, this shit ain't sweet. Y'all out here trying to play in front of us, and we really watching what niggas is doing. You know what I'm saying? In Washington and shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's because of Donald Trump, and we've been watching all his moves. Now we're watching what happens in the Senate and the House. But just people in general, we're just not taking that bullshit anymore. We're aware of when people are trying to play in front of us, like, because we've been at home. In 2019 before, we was out. We was living our lives. We was going to parties. We was going to concerts. We was traveling. We wasn't paying attention to what was going on in Washington.
More distractions.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that's a positive.
But they talk about this always. They talk about dismantling the system all the time. That's really the only way that anything's ever going to change. There needs to be a fundamental means like a core key change in the way that the government is run. And it just doesn't seem to happen because this shit is going to collapse before this shit changes. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it's unfortunate, but you hit it on the head. They could come up with $100 trillion plan, or $2 trillion plan, a $900 billion plan for the stimulus in a couple of months, or when they should have been did it. They could come up with a plan to pay back the descendants of slaves in America. Come on.
Did you want to touch on the stimulus before we go to the
next?
The
stimulus, we all hear the news is going on. They're pushing through this bill. I think it made through Congress, made through the Senate. Then Trump came through talking about he wanted to give people $2,000, which was all a show. If you were really going to give people money, you should have did it while they were forming the bill, not after the bill is already formed and been voted on. They're not going to just go back and write that shit in. You have to do a whole different budget for some shit like that. But $600, man. They got $1,200 whenever they got $1,200. People who made under $75,000 a year, and now they're coming back with $600, which didn't even come before the end of the year. The quarter is already about to be finished. People. I just got a notice from Dominion. Fortunately, I've been blessed enough to continue to pay all my bills through this whole pandemic. But I got a bill from Dominion the other day. Dominion is the electric company that in Virginia. And they're talking about, we know people are not being able to, we will not be cutting off anybody's electricity during this time of the year. But you're still going to be, that amount, whatever amount you haven't paid, that's the amount you still owe. They're doing a moratorium, but a moratorium means shit come back.
Yeah, I would assume that bills just keep building and building.
It just keep building up. So now they're talking about $600 to every person who makes under $75,000 a year. And it's like, it's too little, it's too late, it's an insult. We know it's an insult. And now they're bullshitting with the fucking insult. You know what I'm saying? It's like, we're gonna come over and take a shit in your toilet, but and they gave like, we're gonna give you the time, but it's like, nah, we're not even gonna give you the time no more. We're just gonna randomly shit in your toilet and then you don't even know when. So you know what I'm saying? Make sure
Yeah.
you leave some toilet paper in that bitch so we don't have to wipe our ass with your rug. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The system doesn't work. We see that. You know, it's about people getting the power and holding it, and the people on the bottom are the ones who hold up the system. And shout out to Travis Scott for saying this. It's way more of us than there are of them. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with being rich, but when you're that 1% of the world that makes all the decisions for everybody at the bottom, eat the rich. You know what I'm saying? Eat them and spit out the bones and shit out the bones.
Listen,
It's
I don't know.
it's the nature of the beast, but the beast,
Yeah.
somebody gotta slay it. You know what I'm saying? It gotta be somebody. Somebody gotta slay it.
Yeah, the $600 they're playing in our face, bro. Like
No,
I
they
said,
playing with niggas now.
like I'm saying, like a lot of people are like, "Yo, y'all for real? Y'all really playing with us now?" Like that's what I'm saying. Like with 2020, people are like, "Oh, y'all really playing with us?" Like you know what I'm saying? Like we got our 1,200. And some people don't. I know didn't even get the 1,200, but you know they dispersed 1,200 way back in what March, and then now it's
It was a little after
December,
March. Yeah, probably April.
April. So April to
Let's
the
see.
end of
Let's
the
find. We
year.
got fact checkers here.
Yeah, it was early in the pandemic, quote unquote. So it could be April. I'm gonna say April.
I want to say April too. I don't know. I
That's,
know that shit gone now.
but it's still like okay, now it's December, and you give half of it, and people have been trying to survive. You know what I'm saying? Like small businesses have been closing. You're telling people to stay at home, but you're not supporting the small businesses who,
Yeah, it was April.
yeah, April. So, you know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, you can get all this money. You know, it's just niggas, they're just playing with people's face, playing in people's faces. Like people are just not, really fucking with it. If you're gonna tell people to stay home and lock shit down, then you should
Mm-hmm.
support people while things are locked down.
Yeah, man. You're
That's
making it a mandate to where people can't go to work, and then you're not doing it. And that's what and it's crazy. This is what the conservatives have been saying all the time. Like that's why they've been so anti-mask, anti-lockdown, you know what I'm saying? Because they're like, you're not giving us away. And they're awake to that shit. They understand that if people don't work and the company and places aren't open, no one's generating money. And yeah, it's fucked up. It's fucked up.
nuts, cuz. But going over another topic that we saw in 2020 that was positive. We saw that people need human contact. We're people need to see each other. We need to see family. We love, we need to see our friends. We need to be in environments where we can embrace people. Before then, people were quote unquote, that it was cool to be a loner, or you didn't want to be around niggas, or you didn't want to go to the party, or you be like, you would hit the who are there, and then play like you about to go to sleep, or you're not going to function and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But as we see now in 2020, that we miss each other. You know what I'm saying? We miss human interactions, like except for certain places such as
Except for Atlanta, they've been
Atlanta,
getting it.
Miami.
Atlanta been the joke, but it's like this shit ain't stopped, bro. Compound's still open. The strip clubs are still open.
Still open. So either Atlanta not testing, or they're not reporting numbers, or they got something going on there that maybe they are Wakanda or some shit.
Shout out to Ti.
Yeah, but it just seems like people need to be around people, and I hopefully when things open back up, and things become however opening up looks like, I want people to embrace their friends. What I'm saying, go to the kickback that maybe last year you will be BSing on, or the party that someone, or the dinner that somebody invited you to, that you probably would have hit the who are there. You just say, I'm going anyways, just to be around people. And hopefully, in 2021, we will see less destruction in terms of people just being violent towards each other. I do remember, like, Dave Chappelle said this in his SNL opening. It's like, do you remember what it was like for 2020? Niggas was shooting shit up.
It was bad though. School shootings, all of that.
Like I remember that. I was like, damn, that was like not even a year ago.
And that was the biggest topic, like mass shootings and school shootings. That was like the number one thing.
Yeah, bro. And I don't know if you're paying attention to the news, like on Christmas Day, somebody blew up downtown Nashville. Like,
yeah. Suicide bomb. I've
yeah,
been
and then like there was a shooting in a bowling alley in Illinois. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like outside of Chicago. Like, it's just like, okay, hopefully, we've spent all this time telling people to stay inside, you do Zoom and things like that. You hopefully in 2021 we'll get back to the place where people can really just love on each other. So I take that. I'm gonna spin that as a positive. Another one is job innovations. So a lot of jobs, especially in the tech industry and most jobs, honestly, where you don't have to be quote unquote working with people. You work on a computer most of the day or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? They would tell you there was no work from home policy. But now, as we see, we send everybody home, and production hasn't decreased; it's only increased. People jobs have to get really innovative and forward thinking. So I appreciate 2020 for kind of forcing companies and CEOs to really think about their employees and working from home in that sense. I know, Terry, you haven't had to work from home yet, but
because I'm still technically I'm in one of those. I forgot the fucking term. They try to say I was an essential worker and that I was in a sector of the economy that could whatever. Really just bullshit. What I have to do is hands on. I handle actual files, actual physical things that need to be transported from place to place. Okay, but you're 100% like corporate America is changing. Like I guess they didn't want people to work from home because they couldn't keep their eye on them. They couldn't clock their bathroom breaks and how many times they were at their desk, and they just give you a task and they want to fill it. They want to, if you're salary or if you're hourly, if you're salary, they want you to earn that whole salary. You know what I'm saying? By working how many ever hours they deem it takes for you to get the job done. But shit, if you pay me a salary, I get my job done at 11 in the morning. That was my task for the day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's a new world, man. And they're gonna be office buildings and office parks packed with people. What are they gonna do with all them goddamn office parks?
That's that's something where jobs are gonna have to come up and realize, all right, well,
it's probably just gonna decrease the number of people, or they're gonna go in shifts like 3 days a week, 3 days a week, the other people.
Yeah, like in terms of my job, they haven't really figured out, or they haven't told us what they're planning on doing. I'm cool with like a 3-day on, 2-day back in the office type of deal. Like I do miss it in human interaction with like my teammates. But I don't need to be in the office every day, as you can see. Like I still can be productive at the crib, and that allows me to actually feel like a human in terms of, if I need to run to the store real quick, or have appointments or something like that, or if I have children that are sick, you know what I'm saying? Like I think parents are really valuing the ability to work from home.
Yeah, but see that school shit, that is the other side of that coin, because these kids need to be in person.
Yeah.
Kids need to be in person, because that's something that, like, the attention span of children, just in general, bro. Like the kids are rambunctious. They're active. I know how I fucking was in school. If the motherfucking teacher wasn't in front of me, bruh, I'm not paying the fucking attention. If she didn't come over every 15 minutes and tell me to stay on task, bro, that would be on my report card every time. It's like Terry but he doesn't stay on task. You know what I'm saying? Facts. If there's not someone physically there to keep me on task, you know what I'm saying? So the other side of that, as for adults who are, you know what I'm saying, we worked our way through the school system. We understand what it takes to be successful in our task or our objective and goals, especially when it comes to our jobs. But kids, they're complete opposite.
Yeah, I sympathize for the men and women who have to take care of their kids all damn day and get them to pay attention. So salute to I don't have any kids, so all I have is a dog that be minding her damn business all
Oh,
day.
shout out Lulu. How Lulu, man?
She alright, man. You know what I'm saying?
She
She
all
doing
right? How does she feel with you being there all the time? She
Oh,
can't do
she
her.
love it. What you
Oh,
mean?
she
What you
love
mean?
it.
She can
Okay,
lay
I
up
can't.
on somebody all day.
I thought she can't do her life of pet shit. You know, because when you're not around, she probably got a whole life. She
She
can't
out here
get to
living
it.
her goddamn best life, to be honest, brother.
Oh, okay. She living a good
Um,
life.
Nextly, I wanted to talk about something really positive, and the fact that we've been getting a lot of nasty niggas out of here.
This is true. 2020,
Yes,
a lot of
sir.
nasty niggas.
2020 got a lot of nasty niggas out here. Harvey Weinstein, Jerry Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell,
Now you gotta get his name right. His name not Jerry Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein.
Jeffrey Epstein. I'm sorry,
What's his
Jeffrey.
name? I don't know.
Jeff,
Maybe we're getting Jeffrey Tubin and him mixed up.
whatever. You know who Epstein.
Harvey want Epstein. What was that? Yeah, it's Jeffrey.
Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell. Who was Robert Kelly?
Yeah,
You
Robert.
know, Bill Cosby.
Even on
However
a
you feel
basic.
about him.
I remember there was a little run on social media where it was like an exposed page. I don't know how factual the information on the Instagram was, but it was a wave of like these pages popping up in every area. Like, yo, if you've been sexually assaulted, you can put the men out right now. Like expose the men who sexually
Oh
assaulted
yeah,
you.
they were doing like a DMV
Yeah,
sexual assault
DMV,
page.
sexual assault page or rape page, and like dudes who was grimy and doing fucked up shit, they got exposed. And not just raping, but just preying on underage girls or whatever it may have been. 2020 was definitely a year of getting fuck niggas up out of here when it comes to that sexual deviant shit and just
Yeah,
behaving improperly when it comes to that.
I appreciate that, man. Gotta get these. You
The
gotta
little
put the pressure on them. Put the pressure on them.
cause
Sex
niggas
trafficking too. You know what I'm saying? Is the highlight on sex traffickers, and when black girls was just disappearing out of nowhere, everybody was on full alert. You know. Also, this is a time where as black people, we're not dealing with white people shit,
how
especially
so?
especially in terms of using the N word or calling us N words. Terry, you recently brought up a video of a man getting slapped by a can of
I believe it was an
twisted tea.
Arizona can. It was a damn, that might have been the most sentimental moment I've had in 2020. Bruh kept saying nigga in the 7 looked like he was in a convenience store 7-Eleven. And the dude was like, he looked like he was fed up. He was fed up and he took that can of Arizona and rocked that nigga with it. And he did not know where he was at. Then he proceeded to get him on the ground and you know what I'm saying, choke him out, beat him up. But like it seems like I know black people have always had fight and resistance in us, but it's like the tolerance is just it's negative, you know
Tolerance
what I'm
is dead.
saying?
Yeah, it's
The
dead.
tolerance is negative, especially for, you know what I'm saying, in public. We seen how Karen has been a part of 2020 heavily.
Yeah.
There's been a major resistance to these Karens, these passive aggressive women and men, white men out here doing shit like just not letting black people live. You know what I'm saying? Like being nosy, getting in their business, fucking what the delivery truck driver, Amazon driver, UPS driver, y'all motherfucking harassing like, what are you doing in this neighborhood? Bitch, I'm in a UPS uniform, I'm delivering packages, ho. I don't give a fuck if this is a majority white neighborhood. I'm doing my job and you need to take your ass back in your house and fucking, I don't know, watch whatever type of pornography middle-aged white women watch. You know what I'm saying? It's probably
Yeah.
black porn.
Most likely. Listen,
But
I don't know. You probably didn't upload it, but I said that flagrant take about 3 years ago
Chris
about
said that
middle-aged white
the
women.
biggest evil in the world was like white women. He didn't, and I was like, "Damn, son, you going that hard on him?" Like, this was when I was the middle, I was the passive side between him and Dot. You know what I'm saying? I was playing the low end, and him and Dot was the high end, and I was like, "Yo, trying to calm them down so they before they say something like out of pocket. But that was one of the ones that holds up. It holds up for sure.
The hot take was real hot. Well, listen,
They're the scourge of the world.
I just said they're the person. Whatever. Listen, we have a bigger platform than I did last year. But my take still stands. Besides, we got nasty niggas out of here, man. We realized we got our first black VP with Kamala Harris. Regardless of how you feel, Kamala, regardless of how you feel about her politics, and you know who is the president currently, she is a African American / Indian.
Do you need her real background?
Vice president. So you know, shout out to her. To be the first of anything in 2020 is still a crazy stat.
Yeah, and to get to that level, like, because you know how much vetting you got to go through to be a vice presidential nominee, and just to be a senator, you know, like she checked off a lot of boxes. She's an HBCU alum.
AKA.
She's an AKA.
I mean, just imagine like you said, they did a whole bunch of vetting, and you know, regardless of politics in her what she did as what was she, not a DA but a prosecutor. There was no like
she became a DA later.
Yeah, there was no like she got 3 illegitimate children come out, or like her husband ain't got 3 side bitches, or like she ain't, you know, pay her taxes for 20 years or something like that. No like real scandals come out about her.
Clean.
So that like, you know, as we got away from that because of, you know, the current establishment having so much bad shit and so much crazy shit in their background that we kind of just put it to the background, like, let's just focus on politics. But like, or, you know, or that it was a big focus about, you know, the current, you know, establishment, because they had a whole bunch of shit going on and we wasn't able to keep up.
You see how all them, a lot of people in his cabinet and his campaign got locked up. But just for the record, Kamala is pardoned a lot. Yeah, Kamala Harris is African American, Indian American, and Asian American descent.
So she, you know, she checked off 3 boxes or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to her. You know what I'm saying? I think they probably want to. I think this is my conspiracy mind working right now. They probably think Joe not gonna be staying in office no longer than 2 years. So she's probably the best candidate.
He's the oldest president ever elected.
Yeah, so he got like 2 years. They're trying to get her ready to take over in 2 years, bro.
Listen, they probably got an extra heart on standby for him, extra lungs, liver, kidneys. That man gonna get a transplant for anybody on any transplant list. Some shit happen to him. But I'm saying we don't wish nothing bad on anybody, but that was a win for 2020.
Yeah. Last couple of things I got that were good on the list. You know, a lot of, regardless of, you know, so the pandemic, there are a lot of people that did lose a lot of money. There are a lot of people that are, you know, struggling right now, that are going, you know, working their ass off to, you know, stay above water. There were a lot of people that got money in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of money given to people, and specifically Black people. I want to shout out specifically, you know, Megan Thee Stallion. She got the bag this year. You know what I'm saying? Little baby.
Pay her like she weigh.
Pay her like let's not shame her weight. I don't know.
Justifies herself. I love. She's a great person.
I don't. You know how much she weigh?
I don't care.
Good answer.
You know what I'm saying? But continue. You said Megan, especially entertainment. A lot of niggas won.
Little baby got the bag this year. He had a great year. Who else? Let's see. Charlamagne the God. He re-signed to his, you know, radio station, but he also created a whole platform for other people called the Black Effect Podcast. You know, same platform of Black centric podcast.
Mm-hmm.
He got the bag. He giving other people the bag. I know the 85 South show, they got the bag, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's a lot of, in the NBA, of course, free agency shows you that NBA money still is very long.
Yeah. Yeah, listen, if your kids are playing football versus basketball, you might want to lean toward basketball because them contracts can be guaranteed and the results of injuries. But for sure in the NBA, we've seen the most $200 million contracts I've ever seen. I mean, they creating new terms for this amount of money they're giving out. Super max. Like how you go, I thought max was the maximum, but now the super maximum. You know what I'm saying? So $200 million contracts, Giannis, Paul George.
Giannis got the most money ever in a contract this year during the pandemic.
Also, yeah, and I was talking shit about the NFL, but Patrick Mahomes got to over $200 million contract. Last year, Russell Wilson signed a $200 million contract. So certain positions and you can get the money in NFL, but for sure, unprecedented amount of money coming in. And this is when because of COVID, I know the revenue is down for the NBA. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that they're still getting out these bags is just sees the potential for the future just is still upwards. I said versus too when we were talking earlier.
Yeah,
you know, Timberland and Swiss Beats, they created through the pandemic an entertainment experience that's completely new. And it started with two people on their phones, and it's just you see how it's grown. It's two people on a live set with production and a budget, and you know what I'm saying, and all Black artists.
Yep.
There has not been
Black owned.
an art Black owned. There has not a Black concept. There has not been any artists that have not been in the hip hop R&B community and legends. You know what I'm saying? So we see how the pandemic has produced a lot. This a very positive thing. Very positive thing. Shout out to Versus.
Things to shit that we thought we would never see.
Hell yeah, man. Shout out to Teddy Riley. Shout out to Babyface. Shout out to the early ones.
Yeah.
That made it what it is. You know what I'm saying? You know Teddy Riley and Babyface was my favorite one.
That I liked that was a great one. I like Sean Garrett and Neo. Just because Sean Garrett was in his bag.
You gonna make me listen to some Neo tonight, man.
Sean Garrett was in his bag talking all types of shit for no reason.
But listen, I understand the reason. Because my nigga, this right here, any type of liquid, bro, you will start saying shit that the spirits will take over your body. Sean Garrett was sweating and shit, nose all in the camera. My man was sweating like my favorite. I'm gonna start. Nigga was sweating like James Brown in that one photo, looking like grease, like some greased leather. But yeah, man, classic shit.
Shout out to Wiz and Swiss, man. Thank you for giving that. You know, this is something that, like I said, we would never receive. We would never we thought we would never see Gucci and Jeezy on a stage together.
Oh yeah, that's up there too. That's in top 5.
Yeah, we thought we would never see Monica and Brandy on a stage together again. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just breaking barriers in music and Black culture in general. So that only happens because of 2020. So people were making money or people were innovating. So
100%.
I mean, the last couple of things I got, man, is keep it on the media side. You know, there were, when we were in the thick of the lockdown, we as a world were watching kind of the same media together, right? Watching the same television shows. This is when Tiger King, the phenomenon of Tiger King, pulled up.
Carol Baskin.
Carol Baskin. Goddamn bitch.
You know, it's crazy. I found myself rewatching that shit last week.
Yo,
shit was crazy.
Bro, like that was a moment in time. Like, we all still want to know where Carol Baskin's husband is at.
He's dead.
You know what I'm saying? And then like this was one of them, like, also, I don't know if you were paying attention. You know, there was a time where there was a documentary, Don't Fuck with the Cats, where, you know, a group of people were on the internet trying to find a serial killer because he started posting pictures of videos on YouTube about himself killing cats. But it turned to a story of he really was killing people. You know what I'm saying? And the people online created a community and found the serial killer. You know what I'm saying? That was a documentary, a moment in time. I don't know if you're like Netflix really had the bag at one point
Mm-hmm.
during the early lockdown because that's all we
Oh yeah,
had.
they had everybody locked in. Everybody was on Netflix.
You know what I'm
You know what
saying?
I'm
There was a
saying?
show called Love Is Blind. That was when who was Love Is Blind? Love Is Blind was
Where
I
the
can't
dude
remember.
was bisexual and he ain't tell the shorty. Matter of fact, I
Yes,
never watched that. I'm gonna go back and watch that.
yes. Uh, there's also The Circle. The Circle is when they had the like that social media show where they were trying to they had everybody locked in like one apartment space with like
Mm-hmm.
multiple apartments, but they were talking interacting through social media profiles.
Yeah.
And people were basically voting each other off and things like that. That was a moment. I mean, there was a whole bunch of moments in time. You know what I'm saying? Remember when everything
Ooh,
was damn boy?
my knee hit the table.
I mean, you
Doubts
remember when everything was cake? I don't know if you remember that moment. You know what I'm saying?
with
That was
cake.
remember they were like on
Oh yeah, they were
Instagram.
turning everything into fucking cake.
Terrorists were terrorizing the timeline. You know what I'm saying?
Just
Putting everything.
making everything cake.
That was a moment in time. Just
Social media has definitely kept us sustained in just some form of connection. Because I would say this has been a good, like, as much shit as we talk about Twitter ain't how it used to be. This year of Twitter has been, because of COVID and because of the ways we've been in the house, Twitter has been consistent most every day.
the jokes have been consistent, bro.
Yeah, I just seen a picture of a nigga with a horrible fade, and I made a good joke about his hair, a good joke about his hair. So yeah,
And if our listeners can remember any other moments in time where it was like everybody was talking about one thing, let us know. I can't remember at the moment. It's been a long year of positivity. We know the
mm-hmm.
negative events, so let's keep it positive. The last thing, this is for our community, or everybody's community, with the decriminalization of marijuana in multiple states,
Yep.
and Oregon just saying fuck it to everything.
Dope, dog food,
You know what I'm saying? But uh,
everything.
weed has been something that has been plaguing the black community for so long when it's just a harmless plant. And now we're seeing that, states are decriminalizing it. And, we hopefully will see that leads to the releasing of people that were locked up for weed. Because weed is not coke, it's not heroin, it's not, you know, fentanyl, you know what I'm saying? It's just you get high. And I think the US is realizing you can make probably the US is realizing you can make more if you decriminalize these things, you'll probably make more money in the long run than locking niggas up for a gram or so.
They've been locking up niggas for weed forever, man. They love to send a nigga to jail for
You know what I'm
weed.
saying? So salute to those states. We visited a state that was on the forefront. Shout out to Denver. You know what I'm saying? I think they got.
Great,
I think they let
great state of
mushrooms.
Colorado.
They let mushrooms be legalized too.
When we were there, I think it was the first week they started it. Mushrooms and psychedelic shit was legal.
I'm gonna try it one day. I need to be in a safe environment.
Mushrooms, yeah, like nature for sure. Like going to like the botanical gardens or something and taking shrooms would be cool. Going somewhere in the forest, but like not like out in the woods. I think it would be
Yeah.
cool. 100%.
So, um, you know, things were very dreary in 2020, but I think if you take a look at some of the positives, there are some things that we can look forward to 2021, and hopefully we'll get back to the way things are, but we'll keep the positive going. It was a pandemic for some people. I said banned.
Scammers, I think we said a little bit, but I'm sure the scammers were probably very happy about the pandemic and all the PPP
Or
loans.
they going to jail.
But if they scam right, there'll be a buffer, and hopefully they don't get caught. I'm not hoping that. Yeah, still from the government, but damn, let me not say that. But it was a pandemic. I'll just say that it was a pandemic for some. 100%.
Yeah.
Less
Um.
is more.
Well, that's all I got, man, for the for this year. If anybody that's listening, you had a positives. You know, people got married, people had babies. You know what I'm saying? Life continued for the most part, even though we lost a lot of people. But you know, we're
Yeah,
still
man.
alive. You're still alive if you're listening. You know what I'm saying? All you can do is keep moving forward, baby. So,
And we're happy that you're here. We're happy that you're listening. We're happy that you tapped in with us, that you listened throughout this whole year. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully we gave y'all some entertainment too to get y'all through, you know what I'm saying, these days, whether you was working from home or you had to go out in the world every day. Thank you.
yeah. All right. So let's as we wind down this episode, I got one question to ask. Let's see. Let's start with some. I had a question. I don't like that question now. Let's go to my handy dandy email, and let's see if I can find a question to ask
Handy
us so we
dandy
can
email.
wrap
Who are
out.
you? Who are you? Are you Chris's Clues? Blues Chris Blue Chris Clues? Blue Chris Clues?
Here we go.
Where's up my
All
handy
right.
dandy email?
Shit. The question asks, my boyfriend can't cook, not because he's so my boyfriend can't cook, not because he's lazy, but because he doesn't have the skill he was never
Okay.
taught.
Can you pause
What
for a
are
second?
some ways or meal ideas to encourage him to keep trying and help him get better?
First of all, he ain't supposed to cook. Woman's supposed to be in the kitchen doing the laundry, take care of the kids, folding the drawers. You know what I'm saying? You could do a garden. You're supposed to be in the garden, growing some food to cook.
Or
You know
you
what I'm
keeping
saying?
it
Hanging the
gangster?
clothes out on the line, laundry. You should be able. What woman should have got for Christmas was a goddamn iron and an ironing board, and you know that little thing that they sell in stores to do a proper fold,
Uh-huh.
like the little board.
Mm-hmm.
All she needs for Christmas. I don't know why she's talking about her boyfriend don't cook. You need to be cooking. Where your grandma recipes?
Oh, you keeping it gangster.
Nobody hearing that shit. Ain't nobody. Listen, I just watched the Ma Rainey movie. Ain't nobody studying this woman with R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman.
That was a
Ain't
great movie,
nobody
by the
studying
way.
talking about my boyfriend don't cook. He don't need to cook. Do he work? You know, I change the light bulb, a doorknob, the filters in the AC joint, change oil, the tires, and deliver the dick. That's all he need to do. Your ass need to be in the kitchen.
Mm.
That's what I gotta say.
Terry, so you don't cook?
Nah, I cook. How did the kids say? That was a lot of cap.
Yeah,
That was a lot of
a
cap.
lot of
That was a
kizzy.
lot of cap. That was a lot of kids out. But get a nigga a goddamn recipe. Recipes are not hard to follow. They are not hard to follow. They tell you step by step what to do. The biggest part about cooking is just getting the seasoning right and the times right. Make sure you don't overdo things or underdo things. Just give the food the right amount of time for everything for the chemistry to come together. So tell that nigga to listen. And they're great food shows. How about turn the food channel on in your goddamn house? Watch how them motherfuckers. That's my recommendation. Turn to the food channel more, and then follow the goddamn recipe. Watch videos online. It's not fucking hard to cook. It's really
Yeah.
not. If you could, I was about to say, if you cut a brick of coke, you can cut some goddamn, you can cut some fish up and put the shit in the pan, or put it in the oven and bake it. It ain't that hard.
Yeah, like you said, bro, cooking is not that difficult. It's not. I think if you want to really get him into the spirit of cooking, make it a couple activity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Go to a cooking class, maybe cook butt naked, you know what I'm saying? Put a you know what I'm
that's what I
saying,
was gonna say.
cooking your
Cooking your panties. Be like, you can't eat this until you cook something.
mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You can grab on some booty when you grab on some of these garlic or something like that, you know what I'm saying? Or some
You
cut some of
can't
these
grab
potatoes.
these biscuits until you make these biscuits.
You know what I'm saying?
You can't eat these yams until you open the can.
Facts.
Literally.
Facts.
There's a lot of sexual food references we can make.
Yeah, I mean, definitely you can, she can flick the bean. You know what I'm
Flick
saying?
the bean. Yep.
You
String
know,
beans. No
yeah,
eggplants in the kitchen. No eggplants between my legs until you put the eggplants in the pan.
yeah. So
You know what I'm
definitely
saying?
making an experience, and then eventually he's gonna want to cook more because it's probably something that he finds enjoyable. And when you cook your own food, there's a certain amount of pride that comes with it
Yes.
when it's fire. So men love pride, especially we love our ego. So I remember the first time I made a fire meal and I cooked for a young lady and she said it was delicious.
That's a great feeling.
I didn't even need to fuck. My ego was satisfied. So I
Hey,
still fucked, but like what I'm saying, my ego was satisfied.
but
So
the accomplishment of the look, especially when you cook something and actually, especially when you cook something for the first time, or it comes out good. And also, like, say you make, what I do is I'll make something once, and then I'll know what I should have did differently. Then I'll go back and change that, and it'll come out better the next time.
yeah,
I enjoy that. I'm like, yo, I made it. I tried this time, and it was way better. So
yeah,
cooking can, like, and I don't know if anybody followed me, the 240 people that follow me on Twitter, I've said, like, I hate cooking. I really dislike cooking. It's not enjoyable to me, and that hasn't changed. But I know that payoff at the end. After I make a good meal and that shit tastes fire, it's worth me hating the process of chopping shit and preheating shit and putting oil in the pan and just cutting this and separate to the side and then cleaning dishes after all of that. It's worth it once I taste the food. So yeah,
and ask him
cook.
how his budget. Ask him what his bank account looked like because you can't eat out all the fucking time, boy. You know what I'm
You
saying?
shouldn't.
You know what I'm saying? You're gonna spend more money that way. So unless this nigga got money, he gonna have to learn to cook one day or one way or the other. So uh shout out to this young lady. Hopefully she does all right. And hopefully he learns how to cook some way. So Terry, do you have anything to end off the year with a spiritual moment and start our
um,
year right next week?
do I have something to end the year off with? Sure, I do. Why not? So I've recently been reading this plan. It's like a reading plan that they have on the Bible app, and it's called Dating, Navigating Life and Love in the Modern Age. So it just really talks about putting God into your relationships. And at the end of each day of reading, they ask you questions. So instead of giving you some
Mm-hmm.
advice, I'm going to ask you guys some questions, and maybe you can answer them on your own time. And I thought it was really good from my little devotional I've been reading. Um, and I'm gonna start with this day. It was a really good day. I'm gonna read. So ask yourself these questions, and this isn't just for people in relationship. This is for people who are looking for relationships and people who are dating people. As we had a lot of tender conversations. We had a little tender conversation today. So ask yourself: have you been hurt in dating relationships? Question mark. Have you learned? What have you learned from those experiences? And I found it good for you to write these answers out so you can kind of express yourself a little better. What is your motive in wanting to date? Are your motives healthy? Why or why not? And the third question, the last two questions are: what can help evaluate a person as a potential mate? What hopes do you have for the future as you consider dating someone? So Mazel Talks is giving you some homework, or you can just answer these questions off the top of your head. Have you been hurt in dating? What have you learned from those experiences? What is your motive in wanting to date? And are your motives healthy? Why or why not? And what can help evaluate a person as a potential mate? And what do you have for the future as you consider dating someone? Now, as someone who was single for a very long time, you know what I'm saying, I went through the process of dating. It was I had my ups and downs, you know what I'm saying? I had my shortcomings, I had my bad matches and all that shit. And it's really just part of the process. And I think if there's one thing we learned from 2020 is that our personal relationships are the ones that really matter the most to us. And especially those interpersonal dating, romantic relationships are ones that we probably put a lot of ourselves into, even more than our family relationships. So I think is we talk about toxic all the time and what's bad for us and it's toxic this and toxic that, but really going through the process of what you're looking for and asking yourself certain questions can help you in your dating life. And we all know that sex is always on everyone's mind, and everybody wants to fuck, and everybody wants to have a sexy joint, a bad joint on their arm, and wants to level up and be couples goals and da 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 da. We all know we want all of that, but you got to start with a foundation. And I think those questions might help you start with a good foundation, going from 2020 into 2021.
Thank you, Terry. For our listeners, I want you to write these questions down. Terry, if you can, maybe
Yeah, rewind that.
write the questions down. Yeah, rewind it, write the questions down, and get back to us with those questions, or you can keep them internally, wherever
Yeah,
you
man.
feel you want to start the year off right. But I want to say thank you guys for listening to us this year. You guys had a great holiday. Hopefully we provided you with some laughs, with some insight, with some thoughts you didn't have before. If we pissed you off, I want you to know too. You know what I'm saying? If we said some fuck shit, let us know too. You know what I'm saying? I'm here for all conversations for us to get better and to provide y'all with better content for 2021. And as we wrap off, I still want to say we're looking for a third mic. We got merch on the way, and remember, on the path to playdom, there are 3 rules to success: stay true to yourself, stay true to the code, and wear a mask, man. So we'll see you next year, baby. Thank you, y'all. Peace.
Peace.